Alright guys, in today's video, I'm going to go over top 5 reasons why everybody needs a beater. Alright, let's go. So, I just picked this up. This is a 2002 F-150 4-wheel drive, and it has the 4.6 V8. So I did end up getting rid of my Tundra that was in some other videos on the channel, and I'll get into that in a different video. But for this video, this is going to be top 5 things, or top 5 reasons why everybody needs a beater. So like I said, this is a 2002 F-150, and it currently has 187,000 miles in it. So let's get right into it. The first reason why you should contemplate getting the beater is right here. The title. You can pay cash for an old vehicle that still works. This one I got for $5,000, and the reason I chose to get a pickup truck is because, as you can see, we got a lot of trailers, so I need something that could still tow. Reason I wanted a single cab is so it's easy to maneuver in tight places. So you can see we got 1, 2, 3, and then I got 2 more in the backyard. For the next reason, we're going to go ahead and get inside the truck. This is what it looks like, by the way. But we can go ahead, step in, start it up. My mirror fell off. That's why I got these cords hanging. It's because I've already ran a backup camera, and I guess the weight of it on top of the mirror, plus it being 100 degrees outside, it just kind of fell off. But anyways, as you can see, $187,567. No check engine light. Doors open. Alright guys, reason number 2 of why you should think about getting an older vehicle, a beater per se. They're not the nicest, but it works. And my second reason is insurance. So on my Tundra, before I got rid of it, since it was financed, I had to have full coverage. And for full coverage for me on my Tundra was still pretty good. It was $145 a month. Now, this truck, I only have liability on. I have a work truck that I drive every day throughout the week, Monday through Friday. On this current truck for liability insurance, it is only $50 a month. So I paid cash. My insurance is cheap. The third thing is fuel. So even though this is a V8 pickup truck, it still get about 15 miles per gallon. I know that's not a lot, but compared to my Tundra, where I'm getting 12 if I'm lucky on the highway, this also has a smaller fuel tank. So I think this truck has about 23 gallon tank, maybe 20, something like that. It normally costs me about $55 if I'm on completely empty to fill this truck up. My Tundra, on the other hand, it had a 36 gallon tank, and I'm only getting 12 miles per gallon. So every time I would go fill up on that truck, depending on what gas prices are, whether I'm in Mississippi or Memphis, could be anywhere between $75 to $100 to fill up, which that adds up a lot, because you got to think I had a monthly payment on that truck. My insurance was more expensive for that truck. my fuel expenses were higher on that truck, and maintenance, which I know is a Toyota and they don't ever break, but when they do break, it's best to go to Toyota to go get the parts. That's why you buy a Toyota, for the reliability. So why would you jeopardize the reliability of getting cheap aftermarket parts? I did not own the truck long enough to have to replace any parts, but that truck had 121,000 miles, I think, whenever I took it back to the dealership to get out of that payment. And this truck that I'm sitting in, I found brand new wheels and tires, rims and tires, brand new, off Facebook Marketplace for $450. And on that Tundra, it was going to need tires eventually. And when I priced to get those tires, since they were big, huge off-roading tires, it was like $250 per one tire. And I didn't even have a spare tire on that truck, and it was lifted. So I was always scared to take it on longer trips because I didn't want to end up getting a flat tire and then I have no spare. And then I got to figure out where to locate another size tire for that truck. Reason number 4 of why you should contemplate on getting a beater is you don't have to care so much about it. For instance, if you're at Walmart parking lot and a basket hits it, it doesn't bother me because the truck's not super expensive. It's not super nice. It's nice for what it is. But on my Tundra, there was some kids playing in the neighborhood, and one of the little kids would ride his bike, in between the cars, and I would keep telling him repeatedly, like, hey, don't ride your bike in between the vehicles. Well, eventually, he was riding his bike in between my wife's 4Runner and my truck, and his handlebars scraped the entire back door of my Tundra. And I tried to get it off, I tried to buff it out, and nothing. So literally from the the passenger side front door all the way down the back door, you can see where the mark of his handlebars just went all the way down the truck. And it's a black truck, so it sticks out. This truck, it's already, paint's faded, there's dings, there's dents in the tailgate, there's hail damage on the hood. Like, it doesn't bother me if somebody were to open their car door and hit the door of this truck. It's not that big of a deal to me. And I feel like just normal driving, like, I'm not so scared to drive it because it's paid off, Like, when you're driving in a brand new car, or if you have a high payment on a car, it's, especially in Memphis, so like say potholes in Memphis, I have to drive in Memphis a lot for work, and I carry a trailer, so I'm always in Memphis. Well, the roads of Memphis are trash, and the potholes will ruin a car. So I found myself, even though I'm in a lifted truck, or my Tundra was lifted, driving through Memphis, I would still have to slow down and still have to weave around and go over speed bumps. And it's just, you have to be a lot more cautious because, again, it goes back to the repair cost to fix a newer vehicle is very, very expensive. As where this truck, I was having an issue with it wanting to overheat while I was on the highway. And I've already replaced the thermostat, water pump, fan clutch, and temperature sensor. I'm currently waiting on the radiator to get in. But all of those things is like $500 to replace the entire cooling system on this truck. And the reason I'm choosing to do that, because this is, a 23-year-old truck, and it's not super expensive to go ahead and go through and just replace everything. As where, if that was the case on my Tundra, I'm looking at the radiator alone being $500, if not more. So that's reason number 4, is you aren't so worried about your car being damaged by the roads or other people in parking lots. It's more of a peace of mind thing. Alright, so my 5th and final reason why you need to get a beater is parts availability. New cars are very precise when it comes to certain components of the vehicle. For instance, like I know on newer GM trucks, if your window switch goes out, you have to replace the entire door panel. As where on my truck, I can still easily just find that off Amazon, for $50, and I just pop this off, put the new one in, plug it in, and it works. I don't have to go through all X, Y, and Z just to get a new component. Second is computer systems. I think my truck has like 6 computer systems. The engine, transmission, ABS, and I think like power windows and radio and stuff. So it's very, very simple to work on. It's very DIY friendly. Everything that would need to be worked on this truck, I can do it myself without having to spend insane amount of money on tools. Literally, I just have like a simple gear wrench mechanic set that I got at a pawn shop for like $100, and that's what I've been using to work and fix everything on this truck so far. Newer vehicles, it's very finicky because, for instance, my friend, he has a newer F-150 and his battery was going low, and it starts messing with other electronic systems on his truck because he has a Lariat. So he has, all the trailer features, the heated cooled seats, the hill start assist, and whenever the battery's low, it starts interfering with other systems on the vehicle. And it got to the point where his switch for his brake lights wouldn't work, and his transmission was not wanting to shift because the truck didn't know that it was trying to drive, I guess. Like, because of one simple switch, his truck was having trouble shifting gears because of a brake switch. This truck, I will never have to worry about that. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But those are my 5 reasons of why everybody should contemplate getting a beater car. Stick around on the channel. I plan on continue to work and fix on this truck. I'm not entirely sure how far or in depth I am to building it quite yet, because I'm really on the hunt for a F-250 7.3. So I guess we'll just have to find out, because like I know I need to get windshield tint. I plan on doing a radio and just the other couple small things, not trying to go too crazy. But if that's something you're interested in seeing, then go ahead, subscribe, and I'll try my best to get videos out in a timely manner. Also, next video is probably going to be me explaining why I got rid of my Tundra. And the short answer is I'm trying to achieve financial freedom as fast as I can. And that was a big reason where that and my motorcycle, since they were financed, the majority of the debt that I had was in vehicles. But I'll finish getting into that in the next video. So if you want to listen to that, then subscribe. In the next video, I'll be going over why I got rid of that and a couple other things. Alright guys, see you later.